First story. Thanos is coming to Fortnite.
Ooh-wee.
When I heard this, I was like, what? Wait a minute. Sorry. Can you repeat that? Who's coming to Fortnite?
Thanos is coming to Fortnite.
Thanos is coming to Fortnite.
Your big purple bad guy with the bald
guy with
head.
the chin.
Yeah, he's got like 7 crevices in his chin. Look kind of nasty, but
He got a nasty chin, but he's coming to Fortnite. All right. So what this is an event called Infinity Gauntlet Limited Time Mashup. And it kicks off tomorrow, May 8th. Did you hear that Midwestern mashup? That was awful.
Mashup?
So sorry.
Ooh, no. Yeah, tomorrow, May 8th, is when Thanos will be playable. But there are certain conditions for which you can get Thanos or play as Thanos. So it's the standard 100-person Battle Royale match, but the Infinity Gauntlet is going to spawn somewhere in the map, I imagine randomly. And then
it has all 6 Infinity Stones just right in there, ready to go.
And if y'all are caught up on your Marvel lore, you know that the Infinity Stones all have their special individual powers. But man, you get them in the gauntlet, yo, it's you
over.
Can do some wild shit with that.
Over for you, hoes.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, wee. Yes, and so in Fortnite, if you find it and you equip it, you yourself, your character, will turn into Thanos. But there are no details as to how the Infinity Gauntlet is going to work in the game.
I will say, so this looks a lot like the Thanos model from the Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy series, which I reviewed the first couple episodes of that. He fits pretty well into the Fortnite.
Yeah, he looks terrible.
Also, really quickly, that looks exactly like the Genji. Doesn't it look like Genji to you?
Yeah, so Overwatch, Avengers, Fortnite. No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be too crazy.
That would be wild.
So anyway, of course... So Entertainment Weekly originally reported on this story, and so they got the quotes from the Infinity War directors, the Russo brothers, who are apparently huge Fortnite fans, which is wild to me.
They're one of the 60 million people playing Fortnite. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I guess it's not so wild. Really quickly, this is available across all versions of Fortnite. So even mobile. Joe Russo said to Entertainment Weekly, quote, "Over the past few months while we were editing Infinity War, we'd take breaks to hop on and get in a few games. And then we started thinking, how cool would it be to have some kind of Avengers Fortnite mashup? So we stalked Donald.
Donald Mustard, that is. The creative director at Epic, Donald Mustard. So in response, Mr. Mustard on the Beat said this. Out of the blue, I get this call from Joe Russo, that is. And after a bit of geeking out over each other's work, we start brainstorming these crazy ideas. It was really important that whatever we did, it had to be super authentic to both Fortnite and Avengers Infinity War, and something that fans of both would be excited about. And he continued, about an hour later, we had the bones of this awesome idea for a limited time gameplay mode, and almost immediately our team got started.
You really got to commend them for the quick turnaround on this one.
Yeah.
They're just like, all right.
Their Battle Royale mode itself
Thanos,
was a quick turnaround.
Yeah, seriously. I guess Fortnite is like the king of quick turnarounds. I almost said our GameSpot word for king.
Oh, yeah.
Which, you know what? We've gotten to know you guys over the past couple of weeks of doing this show, but maybe we're not quite there yet. One day.
We'll get there. We'll reveal the ultimate behind the secrets stuff to y'all in maybe a couple weeks, couple months. Who knows?
Who knows? Stick around. Yeah, I don't know. Thanos. I feel like, okay, really quickly, just bear with me for a second.
Okay.
I do feel like maybe it's a little weird for all the kids who are playing. Spoilers for Infinity War really quickly. If you haven't watched Infinity War, just skip ahead for like 30 seconds. You've seen Infinity War, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just, the man who kills everybody, maybe weird to control him. Although you control Darth Vader in Battlefront, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
I don't think it's weird. I'm just surprised this flew.
Oh, right.
The genocidal maniac who kills his own child.
If you think about it, don't you think Thanos would be like hella OP, in Fortnite? Maybe that's the thing, though. He'd
destroy easily.
Yeah, you just use your Infinity Gauntlet. Bam, I'm the last one standing. Peace out, y'all. But, I mean, so when Fortnite came out with their Season 4 thing, which was the superheroes thing, the comet is hitting, it changed Dusty Depot into Dusty Divot.
It did.
And then they came out with generic superhero skins for the game. So we're like, oh, this is cool. They're trying to capitalize on the momentum around Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. Damn, I'm struggling. Affinity. No, that's definitely not what this is. And yeah, we were just thinking like, oh, they're just trying to capitalize on this. This is kind of cool for Season 4. And then they came out with this, busted out this weekend.
We're not just capitalizing it. We're
going-
collaborating.
yeah.
We're going all in. I think it's really cool. I was just kidding about Thanos being inappropriate for children. Please don't yell at me in the comments. That was just a joke. I just think it's funny.
Yeah, I think it's something. But yes, so again, that Thanos will be kicking off tomorrow. We don't know exactly what time tomorrow, but we do know it's kicking off tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. And I imagine that here at GameSpot, we're going to be doing a ton of content around, we're going to try and find Thanos or the Infinity Gauntlet so we can turn into Thanos and then see what it does. And we'll probably have some features around that. We may even live stream it. Who knows? But
News
stick around.
stories for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely just keep an eye on GameSpot if you are curious. I'm sure we'll have usually our wonderful news team does this thing is live now, so you know. So I bet we'll probably do something like that.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
And yes, thank you for sticking around. This is GameSpot Daily again, in case you didn't know. And we're going to jump into our second story.
Yes.
So if you're just joining us now, we talked about Thanos. Thanos. Don't drop that Thanos. Coming to Fortnite tomorrow. But we are now moving on to something of a... We're always talking about Battle Royale, damn
We
it.
really are. That's just what 2018 is.
We
Well,
can't hide it.
2017 and 2018.
Yeah.
So anyway, someone made a GTA 5 mod that combines Battle Royale and roguelite elements.
Yeah, this one's coming from PC Gamer. Who boy.
All right, so modder Theatic made a GTA 5 mod called Complex Control. The description is, quote, combining roguelites and Battle Royale elements, like we just said. It feels as though there's always something new to experience every run. So that's kind of like a cool concept.
Yeah, it's mashing not just bringing the standard battle royale, but they're also mashing in some other gameplay elements. And I was watching the little clip that they had for you, which we'll pull up in a minute, so you can check that out as we talk you through some of the details. All right,
And
so
by in a minute, we mean right now.
right fucking now. Okay,
So,
ooh boy,
take it away, Michael.
All right, you'll be able to choose from one of 70 characters, and you get
That's for a mod. They
Yeah.
made 70 different characters to choose from. That's wild.
Yeah, so I think that they're all going to have their own unique superpowers. As to what degree they'll be different, who knows? But maybe they're just skins.
Well, that person, that
They had a
character
blink
definitely
ability.
had like a blink. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get to choose from 70 characters, and the point of the game is that you get from zone to zone, almost like a King of the Hill style mode, and you survive these high fire zones that AI come at you, and you got to survive that. And within the game, there's a 4-level rank system, but you also get a total career score. So there's a lot of statistic type elements that are built into this mod. It's just not here we're dropping in a new game mode. So there's a lot of things going on with that, and they quote unquote have procedural gameplay, permadeath, and permanent progression to set it apart from typical battle royales that you have seen cropping up in the past year and a half. And this is according to the mod creator, Theatic. Sure.
Anyway, there's 50 power-ups, including teleportation like we saw in slow-mo. There's a separate save system from the rest of GTA 5, so you don't have to worry about things overlapping or crossing those wires. Motor Wars is also a Battle Royale style mode in GTA 5. That's from August 2017, the Smuggler's Run update. So there is like a Battle Royale-esque mode, but of course with cars. And it was not a mod. It was created by Rockstar.
Yeah. That mode dropped you into a zone with just 28 players, though. So wasn't huge.
28 players.
Please. So the maximum of 7 teams. Me and Nick tried that out when it rolled around the first time. It was a little janky. It didn't really capture the spirit of Battle Royale. And you would have thought that, Grand Theft Auto, of anything, would be primed for a Battle Royale conversion.
Right? I mean, especially if you're going to put in the cars. I mean, and then H1Z1 has Auto Royale.
Yeah.
Which sounds like, from what you've told me, does it better than... It's a similar concept done better. So it's cool that GTA 5 is getting what sounds like a more robust, almost like hero shooter styled with the 70 different characters, complicated Battle Royale. And of course, a lot of people still play GTA 5. I think everybody knows that. But it's like consistently, the thing is, it keeps hitting the top of the UK charts. And over here, we're like, who still doesn't have GTA 5?
I know.
Why are you still buying GTA 5?
Last time we looked at the sales numbers, I think it was 90 million copies across all the different platforms. So a lot of people have GTA 5 out there. And this mod in particular, which is also a reminder, it's called, what is it? Complex Control. That is the mod name for GTA 5 that has this Battle Royale hero shooter mashup. So you can check that out. I imagine it's free because it's a mod. So as long as you have GTA 5 on PC,
yeah. PC
yes, we should clarify that mods are inherently for PC versions.
Also, that story was from PC Gamer.
Yes, and that story was from PC Gamer. So yes, PC players of GTA 5, you can try out Complex Control. And yep, so those are our top leading stories of the day. Those are our headline stories.
Yeah.
So again, if you just jumping in now.
So we talked about Thanos. We talked about GTA 5. Now we're just going to totally switch gears. Talk about Nintendo.
Something.
Nintendo comments on Switch sales versus Wii sales. Not Wii U, Wii, to clarify. Because when I first read this, I was assuming it would be Wii U.
Wii.
Really quickly, this has nothing to do with Nintendo, but my mom literally just texted me, Donald Glover might be the coolest person on the planet. That's a real text my mom just texted me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but she's right. So anyway, Nintendo talks about Wii sales versus Switch sales. Nintendo was asked if the Switch sales will ever surpass Wii's sales. For context, Wii has sold over 101 million units worldwide. Still blows my mind.
It's a lot of Wiis.
Yeah. So sorry. That's a good sentence. Translated from an investor's Q&A, this is President Tatsumi Kimishima. Quote, the benchmark is not whether Nintendo Switch sales can surpass total Wii sales, but rather we adapt and respond to changes in the market and strive to continue selling Nintendo Switch as long as possible. I believe Tatsumi Kimishima is the new president.
He's the 46-year-old dude who's taken over.
The really young president that just replaced the interim president after Iwata's passing. So this is I think one of the first things he's publicly said as acting president.
Ooh, man, cool. he's inheriting a nice company right there in Nintendo, but he's standing on the shoulders of giants, I guess is how the saying goes.
So the Switch sold 17.79 million units last time Nintendo reported numbers, and they're aiming to sell 20 million units during this fiscal year, which is April 2018 to March 2019.
Yeah. Kimishima also said this for the Switch's second year, quote, seeing how far we can expand the market in the second year of sales is incredibly important for a video game system, of course, whether it is a handheld system or a home console system. In the second year, the initiatives we are planning come from our recognition that we also have to challenge ourselves to delivering Nintendo Switch into the hands of consumers who have never played a Nintendo platform before, and those who have played it before as well.
But not recently.
But not recently. So they have that challenge of trying to expand their user base and getting into people who wouldn't really play video games or have been out of the Nintendo loop for a while.
I think it's directly referencing the Wii U era as well.
Oh.
People who've played Nintendo before but have lapsed recently.
Yeah.
I think that to me sounds more like an acknowledgement, a very roundabout and tactful acknowledgement that
the Wii U,
that maybe there are people who have lapsed a little bit. I think Chris Pereira, our wonderful intrepid news editor, Chris Pereira, mentioned that it's worth talking about the fact that Nintendo has acknowledged before that the potential of Switch is higher than that of a traditional home console because you can sell Switch to multiple people per household.
Yeah.
So that's another thing is the Switch has the advantage of being a console that can play like a home console, but also a handheld, which makes it more personal. And I know that if it'd come out when my brother and I were kids, we would have too, because my brother and I would be
fighting over it.
Yeah.
Some people have 2 PS4s in their house for convenience sake, but I know a lot of people who have kids and they have their own Switches, and then their kids want to play too, but it's yo, you ain't gonna play mine, you gonna break it.
Yeah.
So they have a tendency to buy one for their kids, or multiple for separate siblings, and this is a lot more potential than a traditional Wii, and obviously they've already smashed the sales on the Wii U, so the potential is much more higher. It makes sense in that regard, and they're well on they're pacing to reach some really high sale numbers because, like we said, almost 18 million in their first year of release. They plan on selling 20 million more based on data, I guess. Man, think they're going to hit over 100 million by the time the Switch's life cycle runs out?
Oh, man. I mean, with the games that are on the horizon, just knowing that there's a Pokemon game and Smash Bros. And Metroid.
Metroid Prime 4, boy.
I think the thing is, Kimishima did talk about like getting people in who don't necessarily play a lot of games. I think that's something that Wii Sports did really well.
Yes.
Switch doesn't have a Wii Sports.
No, they kind of.
So, and I don't mean just like a sports game that people like to play. I just mean like something that
super accessible. Something
that's accessible that shows the potential of the system and games and brings you into the games that console has. Yeah. It doesn't have that, and I think that was a big part of the Wii's success.
I think so too. Like 1-2 Switch was, I guess they were trying to be that with 1-2 Switch, but 1-2 Switch was, I don't want to say it, but it was low key trash. That's being harsh, but like, I mean, 1-2 Switch was a good display of what the Switch is capable of. It just didn't have any lasting appeal. I mean,
yeah.
Wii Sports, like, I played bowling with my homies for like 2-3 years straight when we were just like chilling at his pad when we had the Wii. So it's a little different here, but I don't know. NPD has reported that the Nintendo Switch is the fastest selling console yet in the United States in its first year. So it's not too far-fetched to believe that it could smash the Wii's sales numbers.
Yeah. You did this, yes?
I did.
Okay. Finally. Also in March, Nintendo said there will be no Switch 2.0 this year, as in like an improved version of the Switch. Instead, there will be more peripheral-based experiences like Labo. I think that's interesting because for me, I feel like they were preparing kind of for a Switch 2.0 with that update back in October that enabled system data recovery or system transfer, the way that you would transfer with a 3DS. For me, I was like, finally, if they come out with one with better battery life, I'm going to be there. Yeah. But it doesn't sound like they're focused on that right now, which I think
it's fine.
Yeah, I think given the success that they've seen so far and just wanting to put as many games on that system as possible, it makes sense to not really focus on the hardware itself.
Yeah. If anything, if I wanted a Switch 2 or a Switch refresh, I think that maybe a bigger screen or like covering more of the bezels with actual screen space, because that was the first thing I saw. I was like, oh man, these got some thick ass bezels, and like, oh man, I wish the screen was a little bit bigger, but it's fine. And maybe the Joy-Cons could probably use a little bit more, like the sticks on the Joy-Cons are a little stiff, so it's hard to play games like Doom, and I imagine that's also gonna come into a factor with Wolfenstein too. Yeah. But I mean, get a Pro Controller, it's all good.
That's another thing is just when they say peripheral based experiences, it sounds like maybe new peripherals or maybe just something that uses the Joy-Cons in different ways.
Yeah.
So
yes. So the story of the day is that the Switch is doing extremely well. What was the headline for that?
Nintendo commenting on Switch sales versus Wii sales.
Okay, so it's the Switch versus the Wii here in 2018, man.
I did see really quickly on because when I read this headline, I read Switch versus Wii U, and the reason I read that is because I saw a tweet where somebody was comparing the Wii U library with the Switch library and being like, the Wii U has no good games, the Switch has all the good games, and it was just a list of all the games that have been ported to Switch, which I think is unfair because if you've ever seen a gamepad, that shit is antiquated.
Oh, the Wii U gamepad?
Yeah, holding a gamepad in the year of our Lord 2018. I'm like,
yeah, it's a little weird. But
I just think, yes, there's a lot of fantastic games that were lost in the Wii U era.
But they are coming to
and they're coming to Switch.
Bayonetta is probably the most striking example of the Wii U.
Captain Toad.
Yeah, well, we know the Captain Toad is on the way. We know the Bayonetta 2 is on the way on the Switch. So it's like, man, they're covering their ground. Wind Waker HD, that needs to be on Switch.
Right?
Please. If there's anything else I want from the Wii U era, it's Wind Waker HD.
I want to play Wind Waker on my Switch so bad.
Kimishima, if you're listening, Wind Waker HD on Switch. And bring back leading up to Metroid Prime 4 also, I'm asking you personally.
Trilogy.
Yes, Metroid Prime Trilogy. Ooh boy, thank you.
Onegaishimasu.
You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Lastly, this is our fourth and final story of the day. New Red Dead Redemption 2 screenshots released and special editions confirmed. So we know a lot of people are probably really, really hyped for Red Dead Redemption 2. Kind of hard to talk about screenshots on a show like this. We decided, you know what? It's Red Dead Redemption 2. So Rockstar released more screenshots on its website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We got all the shots in this article.
Yeah, so let's flip through them. That's your boy Arthur Morgan right there.
Well, once that overlay goes away.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
there's some horses and cows.
Old MacDonald had a farm. John Marston. And Dutch That's your boy Dutch Vanderlyn, the leader of the gang.
And that's my next cosplay.
All right, that's pretty dope. Oh snap!
I'm just kidding.
Arthur Morgan in a hole up.
Oh my god, there's so much happening on this page.
Yeah. Ooh, campfire. This
reminds me of a nice song.
Reminds me of Stalker Shadow Chernobyl.
Oh,
Chernobyl. Yeah. Ooh, Arthur Morgan.
Arrow.
Bow and arrow. They have also said that bow and arrow is supposed to net you more goods when you go hunting. So you can, I guess, you get more like wolf pelt, higher quality stuff.
Well, yeah, because you're not ripping through it with a bullet, I guess.
More campfire stuff. It's the gang.
Oh,
you're
good
so
boy.
Cute. Oh,
Ooh,
not so good boys.
Action.
Is that looks like? Wait, go back. Is that Marston? No, maybe. I don't know. I don't
know.
Sorry, don't.
I don't want to like speculate and then
be
wrong, so I'd rather just not.
I know y'all are savage out there.
Yeah. So I don't know when it ends, but we're gonna keep going.
These images followed a batch of 6 that came out last week, which can be found in our article on GameSpot.com. So if you want to check these out for yourself,
these ones are getting smaller and smaller.
Head on over to our website, and you can zoom in and examine these and come up with your own theories. Because if we do, apparently we get roasted. But yeah. Again, if you don't know, if you're not in the loop, Red Dead Redemption 2 follows the story of Dutch Vanderlyn's gang, which John Marston was a part of, and Arthur Morgan, who seems to be the leading protagonist for this one, has been heavily featured in a lot of the trailers and a lot of the pre-release materials. And his latest trailer, the trailer 3, which dropped last week, you can check that out. It's a little bit more sensitive. It's a little bit more introspective for Arthur Morgan himself.
What else? What are we missing besides?
You want to give the official description?
I sure would. I'll do that. Red Dead Redemption 2 follows the Vanderlyn gang 12 years before the events of the first Redemption. A robbery goes wrong, putting the gang on the run with federal agents and bounty hunters on their trail. And that description, the official quote is, as deepening internal divisions threaten to tear the gang apart, Arthur must make a choice between his own ideals and loyalty to the gang who raised him. That
seems, that's kind of in line with the vibe of trailer 3, which was, like I said, a lot more introspective, and Arthur Morgan kind of bumping heads with some of his fellow gang members. So that's gonna be really interesting. I know Red Dead Redemption is about redemption, so we're gonna see a pretty. I suspect it's gonna be a pretty wild character arc for Arthur Morgan himself, and also everyone loves John Marston. So I'm really curious as to how he's gonna factor into the story of RDR2, and you'll be able to find that out if you have a PS4 and an Xbox One on October 26th.
Nicely done, Michael.
Thank you.
We also have a history of Red Dead Redemption on GameSpot.com and YouTube if you want to check that out. The troubled history of the development, stuff about Red Dead Revolver, and all that good stuff. That's something that I think is definitely worth watching.
And you know who did that video? Our good friend Jacob Decker. So shouts out to him. He put together a history of Red Dead for you. And I watched that twice, once last week and then once over the weekend. And he gets into some stuff you wouldn't have thought otherwise, because obviously the Red Dead series only has Revolver and Redemption 1, and we have Redemption 2 coming soon. But there's like a whole other backstory, like you mentioned, that is very interesting, and I think will get you a little bit more hyped up for this game if you aren't already hyped up already. Yep.
Yep. And with that, I think we're about done. Do you want to do a quick what we're watching in the anime world segment?
What are we watching? Well, I caught up. I watched the new episode of My Hero Academia. Loving that show, as you should as well. And I caught up, or I watched the Persona 5, the new episode for the Persona 5 animation. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about that. Man,
you should really do a feature on that, Michael.
I really should. But I just want to say a few things. Like some of the battle sequences are a little lacking. But it just feels so, like when I watch and when I hear the music kick in, all these feelings come back from when I first played and how it made me feel. So it's really capturing some of that there. I know it goes by a lot faster because of the nature of an animation as opposed to an 100-hour RPG. That's always tough to capture. But if anything, I want to say that the intro and the intro music for the Persona 5 animation is so damn good. It brought me to tears, no lie. I'm a grown-ass man, but hey, that intro for P5A brought me to tears, man.
Speaking of being brought to tears, Agretzko brought me to tears. The new Netflix anime from Sanrio, the company behind Hello Kitty, but it is not for children. There's a misconception that Sanrio is only for children, but Agretzko is super not for children. It's an adult office comedy about a red panda who sings death metal karaoke because she hates her boss, who is literally a chauvinist pig. He's a pig and he's misogynist.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's excellent. but the last episode just got me, and I was just sobbing. And then over the weekend, I watched Interstellar for the first time, sobbing.
Okay.
I just haven't. It's just
very emotional weekend for you then.
I was well, Interstellar was something I knew was going to make me cry for like 8 years. It's been out for 4 years, and I didn't watch it, and I was just putting it off, and then I've just bit the bullet and I did it.
Okay, cool.
So it's a fantastic movie. It just made me cry a whole lot.
Interstellar is not an anime though.
It's not an anime.
Would it make good for an anime adaptation? Anime Matthew McConaughey.
Oh no.
Matthew McConaughey anime. That's bad. Let's go before I dig myself into a deeper hole.
So stay tuned if you're watching live. We have a live stream coming up at 11:30 p.m. PT. AM PT.
Yes.
And it will be the PlayStation Plus games for May, which I believe includes Beyond Two Souls.
And a Rayman game?
I think
there's a Rayman game. Is it Rayman Legends?
That's what our thumbnail says.
I forgot. But yes.
Yeah. So we'll be streaming that if you're just interested. Beyond Two Souls is one of those games that can be a wild, fun time, which we've experienced with other David Cage games before. I think they can just be really fun to just dick around in. So
it's a hot David Cage joint, as no one ever says.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. You can check that out though.
We'll be back tomorrow with more news. Thank you for joining us as always. Thank you to Matt Paget and Tony Wilson for getting our notes together.
Thank you, Chris Pereira, because, I don't know, thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Eric Tay, for always having our backs.
I love me some Eric Tay. Thank you, Emily Conti, the homegirl, always helping us get ready in the morning. And, as always, thank you all for watching. We appreciate you, and we love doing what we do, and we hope you love watching us do our thing. Goodbye.
Bye.